Alright everybody, welcome back to another voiceover. Round 4 Pro Sprint Car Championship at Lincoln Speedway. We're going to have our special guest here, Slide Job Daily himself, Sean Timmerman.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
Of course, we're going to be asking questions of what goes through my head through these races, and of course of how I lost it again, obviously. But anyways, we're about to take off of turn 4 here.
Is there an advantage to starting on the inside or outside at Lincoln?
Lincoln is probably the worst spot to start on the outside. I mean, like you see right here, the inside always takes off faster. You're a lot lower. Turn 4, it hooks down, so you have less room on the outside and you're in the slick more.
So you're exiting through the slick on the exit too. Is it better to drive through the slick or be underneath it at this point?
At this point, it's really fast, really heavy, so there's more banking in the 1 to 2 here. We have our first yellow here. I'll show you here under yellow. There's a slick down the straightaway here, but the bottom is completely fresh still, and the top still has a little bit of a curb. But most of the banking here through 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 has the most bank, so you want to stay through the middle, stay on the throttle a little bit more, keep the roll speed up.
So on restarts, are you waiting for Alec to fire first so then you can kind of time it as he's slowing down and you go? Or, what's the rules there?
No, this week we have a restart zone. They gave us this S in the speedway right here. That's when the leader is supposed to fire off, as you see right here. As soon as he hit that S, you can fire off at any point. So he decides to turn down and get the grip down here before me. I'm just trying to time the start where he can't see where I take off. So we get a good restart here, and I felt like I got away from him a little bit.
Now you're pinching your entry underneath the slick. Did it pre-gen more, or, what did the track do to make you think you should do it? Try exit underneath.
What really made me think do it is you got more slick stuff here now because of the yellow us island around, and you want to stay below it now because there's just too much slick to go through the center and the banking right now. So we're just staying lower, getting the grip down straight away, and then as we roll into our second yellow here, just trying to think about where I'm going to restart again. Okay, so right here after the second yellow, we're looking for the S-skin, get the best restart possible. I didn't hit the start as good, but I still can beat him to turn 1 here.
Bergeron went to the top. How much do you pay attention to that? Are you driving, looking in your mirror, just driving out the front of the car?
No, at this point in the race, I felt really good, man. Just I had to hit the lines best I could, and it's still heavy and fast, and we're just focused on hitting the lines the best as we possibly can.
You're at slider in 1 and 2, now you're running, a couple lanes up from the bottom. Why wouldn't you run slider in 3 and 4 as well?
The thing about 3 and 4 is that's where all the restarts are. That's where you get a lot of tire spin, so it's always naturally the slicker end. You usually, if you do a slider here, the cushion will hold you off exit, so you'll just power slide and kill yourself on the wall. So you usually just want to keep the momentum up by either rolling the top or bottom. 3 and 4 are a little cut down. And 1 and 2, we're just running the middle, hitting the bank and sliding up to the curb. It will hold you on that end.
Does both end of the racetracks drive the complete same, or are they just completely different?
Yeah, they're a little bit different. As far as the bank, they're about the same. There's banking in the middle of both turns, and then off of 2, you fall off a little bit, but the shape is completely different.
Does that change how you enter the corner or exit?
It changes how you exit off 4, especially because turn 3 you want to rotate it basically as soon as possible and stay straight to get a bigger straightaway and on the front stretch. And then usually when you go into 1, you want to hold a little bit straight, like more like a Eldora or something. You want to enter as fast as possible and then to the center you kind of want to slow it down, and then you kind of rotate and get it pointed down the back straightaway. Like right here, we moved to the top here, and we're trying to keep up the momentum. This cushion really started to get fat and thick, and it's just holding you. And the racetrack's starting to get really fast. So we're about to have our third restart here in the race. We're just looking for the S again, but Kenny's right behind me, and he was running on top the whole entire time, what my spotter was telling me. So I'm keeping that in mind as we go into turn 1 here.
So you were running top on the restart, and you tagged the wall into 3. Did you go to the bottom trying to play it safe, or did the track change?
Well, I felt like the track was changing a little bit. The cushion wasn't as fat as thick as it was earlier. I think it got worn down under yellow a little bit, so I'm just trying to run the bottom and middle to play it safe at this point, secure my podium position, and maximize my points as much as possible. The top gets very risky here. I mean, the wall's very odd shaped. Like I said, off of 2 it falls off, and 4 it's really awkward the way you come out, how you have to rotate it very soon on entrance. So this place is just really tough when it comes to the top, and it's very advanced. So, like I said, just trying to play it safe throughout these last couple laps here. So I kind of went back on my words here. 3 and 4. I was sliding myself right here in 3 and 4. I felt like at this point in the race, usually you don't want to do that. But I was struggling to find the line a little bit, and I wanted to hit the banking like I wanted to earlier through the middle. And then the cushion was fat enough right there to catch myself, and then I had a grip down the front straight away to have a good turn 1 entrance.
Are you racing Kenny differently since he's your teammate? Or, would you go up and block and go with someone else?
No, like I said, we help each other out, obviously, on the set, and we help each other out how to run lines and stuff, but in the race, it's just another racer, so I was trying to beat him here the best I could. Like I said, I didn't feel as good up on the top here, and I felt like the slider line went away, so I'm just searching for lines here to find my way back around them.
Now that you got passed by Kenny running top, did you ever think about going up to the top? Now that you got past, maybe defend some positions from cars behind you?
Well, I was defending a little bit, but I felt like the bottom was faster at this stage. I don't think I was hitting the best of my abilities, but as Alex goes up high here and cuts across, like, at this point I got past on the top and bottom, so at this point I'm a little bit lost, so I jump back up to the top here to get momentum back and follow Kenny and try to get back by Alex here.
The last several laps, you were going to either the top or the bottom. Why did you decide to go to the middle there?
Well, I mean, it's definitely an unfortunate incident. At this point right here, whenever I got to about right there, getting close to the flag stand, I saw that Eden's in my mirror. I glanced down in my mirror, and I saw he was. I took as much information as I could with that glance. Saw he was cutting down from the top, and it looked like to me he was turning left a little bit. So at that point, I figured he was going to the bottom. All we could do is assume at this point. And I saw Alex in front of me was obviously hitting the bottom the whole race. So my plan was to shadow Alex and stay towards the middle and get the best turn two I can. If I had to slide up all the way to the wall, get the grip down the back straightaway. But, you know, I completely timed it wrong, and I tag Alex in his rear bumper here, as you can see. As a former pro, though, like, would you have tried to do the same thing, shadow him, or would you try to rip the top and cut down? Like, what do you think I should do in this situation next time?
I would have just kept running my lane, running the top. I mean, Eden's isn't going to be able to slide you without having to check up for Bergeron, and you might have had enough momentum to probably cross him under in the middle of 1-2.
Yeah, man, I just, you know, it's a tough situation. You know, I don't like to race people that way, and I never mean to do it, obviously. And we were having a good race up until that point. I reached out to both of them, though, and I formally apologized, you know, so, I mean, it is what it is. Racing happens. Mistakes will happen every once in a while, so we'll just try to make that only one for the season.
So right here, why did you just pull off? I mean, you
Man,
just let how many cars go by in the championship points right there?
I mean, we did the math after it, and it was about 8 or 10 points that I gave up right there after I had a chance to keep on going, and I just felt so bad with myself. I just didn't feel like I wanted to continue. I was very upset. But, I mean, overall, I mean, it was a good run. My teammate Kenny Miller got his first pro win. Hopefully more to come. Very exciting. It'd be the first M9 win in history as well. So, very exciting race overall. Just unfortunate with that incident. But how would you rate my race overall?
I'd say it went really good until, you know, obviously the last lap. But, you know, racing stuff happens, wrecks happen, you just gotta move on.
Yep, got to move on. You know, looking at it back now, maybe I should have kept on going. Maybe that decides the championship at the end. But, you know, I just, as a racer, I just don't like racing people that way, and I just don't want to be known for that. And me pulling off, it was just showing I never intended to do that, and just didn't want to race them that way. Didn't feel comfortable.